right, welcome. We're back to Reggie's Yellow Brain, where sometimes I think things that I don't know why I'm thinking. It's all really random. But I always bring really interesting, fascinating guests on my show. So why don't you tell them who you are? And I want to know what the heck you do.
Okay. So I'm Radiah Rhodes. I'm one of the co-founders of Evoke Life, which is technically a training and development company. But we teach a really interesting method of intention, which is about restoring people's power. So we say our mission is really to remind you who you are so that we can free you up to transform the world.
Wow. So in talking like that, it brings up the assumptions that people need that.
Yeah.
And so what made you start that you think people would even need that type of help?
So personally, for me, I lost my power. There was a point in my life where I had 2 children. I got married in 24 months, and I lost my identity. I worked in corporate America, and I just hit a real low. I didn't know where to stand. I'm an engineer by degree, so I literally went to a spreadsheet to try and sort myself out.
What?
And through that spreadsheet, I looked at a series of questions, answered them for myself, mapped it out, and then realized that I had something that could help people, and I turned that into a process. Like a beautiful engineer, that's what we do. So I turned it into a process. And there were just so many people just like me. So I asked some people, hey, are you willing to try something out? And they said they were, and I just kept doing that. And there was a pull for it, and it's worked. Okay.
And what kind of results are you seeing? So here's what I'm trying to get my listeners to go to understand, that sometimes when people try things like that, it helps people, and it's at such a personal level. The world doesn't get to see the difference, but every now and then, the world actually sees the difference. So what are you hoping to accomplish by having people use your process?
Yeah, so I talked about reminding people who they are. So most of us are out here getting a lot of results, whether it's in our jobs, we're affecting people, we're getting certain results. I worked in corporate. And so what we do is restore people's ability to get results. They get promotions, they start to be seen. One of the things we hear most from our clients is, what are you doing? Because something's different. People start to actually show up fully. And there's a difference between people who are suppressed in an environment and who are hiding and avoiding things and just coping and getting by, than when you see them actually fully show up with their unique gift. That's going to make a difference in the environment. So.
Yeah. So I only have a couple of things I really want to know. So you lost your power and you found it.
Yep.
And you developed this process for other people to use. What advice do you give for people who may not know they're lost yet? I think there are people traveling their way down this path, this thing called life. Yeah. They're lost and they don't know it. And I think there's some people that if you help give them just a couple of triggers, a couple of ways to think about something, they may realize that it may not be that I'm lost, but it could be that I need to find a different power or a different way to look at it. So what do you tell people?
Yeah. So I have 2 thoughts that come up. One is look at the results. Look at what you're actually creating in the world. Your relationships with people, are they going the way you want? Is it working for you? Do you feel, what is your experience of the life you're creating? The type of work you're doing every day, the conversations you're having, are they positive? Are they sourceful? Do they give you a positive experience as a person? If they do, then you're probably doing pretty well. But if they don't, if you find yourself complaining, if you find yourself avoiding things often, if you find that relationships are breaking, those cycles, then you know something is off or out of alignment, and there's a new road that you probably need to look for.
So what's the name of the process again?
It's called B-printing, which is blueprinting who you're being. So the thought is that there's a way that you're being that's creating the whole world you live in, and you're unaware of it. Okay. And when you become aware, when that invisible way you're being becomes visible, then you can actually shift the anatomy of it and create a whole new life.
It has been fascinating listening to you talk. I really appreciate you taking the time. And so thank you for that. And to all my listeners, don't forget what I always say. If it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and go make a difference every day.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.